What's up everyone and welcome to the club. Today we're creating a portrait illustration of Sally from A Nightmare Before Christmas. Welcome back everyone and thanks for joining me today. For this lesson we'll need a sketch pad and a pencil. I'm going to start my drawing off with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Now let's start off by setting up our drawing with some guidelines. Starting in the middle at the very top, I'm just going to sketch a line coming down the center. Using these short lines, just pulling the pencil towards us. Let's move back to the center of our page and draw another line going across from left to right. Now this character's head is essentially a circle, so we're going to use these two lines to help us create that large circle in the center. So from that center point, let's move up to the top. It's going to mark off the top of our circle right about here. And then we want to measure the same distance from the center point down towards the bottom. So right here, it's going to mark that off. And then we want to repeat this across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center down towards the left and then down towards the right. Now I want to connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. Now the circle doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to get the right size and placement in the center of our page. And eventually we're just going to erase most of this out. We're just using this as a guideline. Now I'm going to add another set of guidelines coming down the side of our circle. So let's start on the left side. Going straight down. Do the same thing on the right. Now I'm going to add one more line going across the bottom of our circle. Just to finish setting up our drawing. Now that we have our circle and guidelines, I'm going to start blocking out the facial features. Let's start by connecting the outside of our circle towards that center point with a straight line. And this will be a guide for the eyes, for the angle of the eyelids. Now I want to create a gap in between the eyes. So from that center line, let's move over towards the left, right about here. Draw a straight line coming down. Now we're going to measure that same distance over towards the right and do the same thing. Now I want to add the curvature for the upper eyelid. Let's start from this point. I'm just going to bend this up, go across towards the center of our circle, and then at the end we're just going to bend this down towards that line. Let's take that shape and flip it over on the right, starting from the inside, going up, in towards that center line, and then back down. Now I'm going to go all the way down towards the bottom of the eye. Come straight down, round out the eye, and then just going to pull that in on the inside. And again, just repeating that over on the right. Now I want to go back and add a thick eyelid across the top. Starting from the end, go up a little bit higher in the middle, come across, and then back down on the inside. And at some point we're going to come back and just readjust these shapes later. Now from that center line, let's move down, draw a straight line going across the edge of the nose. And then in the middle, we're going to add a triangle. Let's start in the center, angle this down and out towards the left and right side. From the ends, just going to curve this in and then up towards the inside, just going in between the eyes. Let's go back to the edge of the nose, step down, draw a straight line going across the edge of the mouth. Now from here, it's going to curve the mouth, going out. I'm just going to blend this into the stitches, going around and then up towards that outside line. Do the same thing on the right. Let's give the upper lip some shape. So we're going to start with a V in the middle. On the top, it's going to bend this down and then out. Let's go back to the left side, draw the lower lip, going down. I'm just going to round up the lower lip in the center, almost into a point, and go back up. From the lower lip, step down, just mark off the chin. Now I want to draw the lower half of the head. Starting from the left side, just going to bend the head, coming down, and then in towards the chin, towards a point, go out, and then back up. Now let's go halfway between that center line and the top of our circle. Just going to mark this off. This is the edge of the hairline. Let's curve the hair, going across, and then down towards the left side of our circle, and then the right. Now from the side of the head, just going to curve the hair, going around, and then down. I just want to bend the hair, going out towards the bottom of our page. Let's add in the neck, leaving a gap in the center, draw two straight lines coming all the way down towards the bottom. Now this character has a pretty long neck, so we're going to come down a little bit further, And then right here, it's going to slope the shoulders, coming down and then out. Now, once we finish setting up our drawing, I'm going to go back and lightly erase some of these guidelines so we can get a better look at our drawing. Just taking all the lines out from the center of the head. Now that we've cleaned up our drawing, I'm going to start adding a second level of detail using this rough sketch as a guide. Now, I want to start with the placement of the pupils. We'll start halfway in the center of that line. So right here, just going to lightly draw in that circle. And we might want to go back and just readjust the placement after. So just making sure they're placed in the right spot. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding a little bit more detail and contrast, starting with the upper eyelid. Just going to darken this up, across the top, coming down and in. Just going to also darken up that fold along the inside and just fading that up towards the top. Just going to work our way across the outside. We also want to add a couple folds along the bottom of the eye, going down and in. And go back and just readjust the placement of the pupils. I'm just going to pull this in a little bit closer. And lightly shade those in. And then go back and erase the original eye. A curve across the bottom edge of the nose. Just work our way up along the side. Now there's a little seam in the center, so I'm just going to pull that up in the middle. I'm also going to open up the mouth a little bit in the middle, just to expose a bit of the teeth. Just going to open this up in the middle, coming down in towards a point across the lower lip. And draw on the lower lip. I'll add those lines going across those stitches. Now these stitches only go up towards the cheek here. And I'm just going to add some guidelines for the staples going on top. Add a couple X's. Can also modify the shape of the head. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit lower across the jaw and then in. Add that stitch coming down the eye. Set that stitch line across the top of the forehead. And then adding that indent in the center of the head across the top and just separating the hair. Now the lashes are going to sit in between these two curves. So we're going to draw a little V on the outside. I'm just going to add 4 of these coming across towards the inside of the eye. I'll do the same thing on the right. Let's add some shape to the neck. Now we're going to go wider across the base of the neck, coming down towards the shoulders. Add the stitch lines across the neck and the collarbone. Now we're going to do one final cleanup before I add some more detail and shading. Now I'm going to switch to my thicker pencil and add some more contrast and some thick and thin lines to add a little bit of weight. So this is my 0.9mm pencil. You see I'm just going to fade this in towards the inside, going a little bit heavier along the outside. let's thicken up those lashes. We're going to go heavier along the base, and then just pull that up towards a point. I'm just going to readjust the placement of the pupils a little bit. I'm just going to darken up the inside. Darken up the bottom edge of the nose. Let's darken up the upper lip, just pushing this area into shadow. Do a lighter shade across the lower lip. I want to add those thick staples across the mouth. So we're going to start by just tracing out all those lines. And then adding that line underneath. And do the same thing across the cheek, starting with the staples first. Now we're just going to finish working around the perimeter of the head. Again, just darkening up the lines and contours. Now we're going to add a third level of detail, just adding some texture inside the hair. Starting across that center line, I'm just going to pull these lines going across and just following the curvature of the head. And it doesn't have to be perfect, we just want to vary the length of each of these lines going across, just to make it look a little bit more natural. And then just fading them out. I want to use the side edge of my pencil to just lightly shade in the upper eyelid. Start from the outside and work our way in. I'm just going to add a light shadow to the left side of the nose and just fading that up. And we're also going to darken up the back side of the hair, starting from the top, and just roughly fading that out towards the bottom. Now the head's going to cast a shadow across the neck, just along the top. So you want to darken up the top and then fade that down. Also adding a little bit of shadow across the side of the head. So the hair is going to cast a shadow from the side, just along the outside of the eye, and it's going to blend that up towards the top. I'm just going to pull a shadow from the nose coming down in the middle, and then just lightly shade that in. Now with the light source, we're imagining that's come from the top of our head coming down across our character. So the shadows will sit along the bottom edge with the highlights across the top. Let's go back and just add a little bit more texture to the hair. Again, using the side edge of our pencil, I'm just going to pull these out, going a little bit longer. Add a soft shadow around the outside of the eye. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of texture across the back side of the hair, starting from the top, just adding these thick lines coming down. Now I'm just going to finish off my drawing by signing my art, but you're welcome to continue to add some more detail if you like. I want to encourage you to keep practicing your layering process by starting out with the basic shapes and guidelines first before we jump into the details. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. What's up everyone, and welcome to our club memberships. Are you ready to take your art skills to the next level? Well, I've got something special just for you. Introducing our channel membership, starting at only $1 per month. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you'll get exclusive access to a world of bonus features and perks that will enhance your journey with me. As a member, you'll be treated to brand new weekly tutorials that are available only to our valued members. Want to learn the latest techniques and dive deeper into the topics I cover? This is your chance. You'll also gain access to our member-only community feed where you can connect with fellow members, share your progress, and participate in exclusive polls. Your voice matters, and I want to hear from you. And let's talk about the perks. You'll receive a set of custom chat emojis to use during our live streams and premieres, adding a personal touch to your interactions with me. Plus, you'll proudly showcase your support with special member badges that highlight your dedication. As a member, you'll get access to future perks I roll out. I'm constantly working behind the scenes to bring you even more exclusive content, surprises, and experiences. So join our channel membership today and become a part of our exclusive community. For just $1 per month, you'll unlock a world of premium content, engagement, and fun. Click that join button now and let's embark on this exciting journey together.